Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're gonna compare the Modern Renaissance and the Subculture palette. So if you want to buy one of these and you're not sure if you should, you're definitely in the right place. So the Modern Renaissance palette is extremely hyped everywhere. Everybody seems to use it, everybody seems to like it. Some of the subscribers on my channel have told me that they don't really feel comfortable working with these rosy shades and burgundy shades. They don't really want them, they are too warm for them. And this palette is a bit more cool toned, although it's not 100% cool toned. You get a mixture of both. I can totally see those people wanting to know more about this palette and if they should buy this one or this one. In terms of how much use you're gonna get out of it, this palette is wonderful because you get this color over here, which you can use to set your concealer or your primer with, and then you get these three colors over here which are warm. You can use this all over the lid as a transition color, and this is what we normally use the most, the transition colors, because like these colors over here that are more like pigmented and have more exciting colors, if you want, you can't just use them all over the lid. So you actually want to have more crease colors because you can experiment with different ones and you're not going to hit pan on one crease shade and then you're going to have to use other palettes for crease shades. You also get a shiny silver and a shiny gold, which are very usable on a daily basis as well because they are very finely milled, and this is all you can possibly want from a palette, to have a silver and a gold because they stand out the most out of all the shimmery colors. In terms of pops of colors, you get these red ochre, Venetian red, and love letter. They're gonna kind of end up looking a bit similar on your eyelid, so you gotta keep that in mind. This color over here called warm taupe, and this color over here called cypress umber are very good colors for your brows. So I can totally see people with different skin types using both of them because they don't have a brown in them, they're more like taupey gray shades, so they're very good for your brows. I've been using both of them. I've used this one well, I didn't use them today, just in case you want to know, but I'm using this one when I start to draw my brow over here so that I get a gradient effect, and then I use this one by the end of my brow over there. So overall I would say this palette is definitely worth investing in because you get a lot of things to work with, and you can definitely make a full eye look with this palette. You can make a lot of eye looks with this palette, but you will definitely not have to reach for another palette when you are using this palette. Now this palette, the Subculture one, is a bit more playful in terms of colors. This palette is for those people who would like to have every single color from the spectrum. I mean, it doesn't have every single color from the spectrum, but it feels like it because they are very diverse. I mean, in this the reds were like very similar looking, and in this one every single color is different other than Untamed and Axis, which I think are a bit similar, and when you actually blend them on your eyes they kind of end up looking the same. Other than that, you get a very big diversity in this palette. You get this color over here called Dawn to go all over the lid, and unfortunately there's only one crease shade and this is the one. So when you're gonna run out of it, you're gonna have to reach for other palettes as well. In terms of shimmery shades, you get this color, which is the foiled brown, and then this green electric color, and this one is actually like a pinkish shimmery shade. It's not a white, although in the pan it looks like a white. You also get a combination of warm shades like these yellows over here, this burgundy over here, this brown over here, and more cooler tones like these olivey shades, these greens, this mercury color, which is like a taupey grayish color, and this one is good for doing your eyebrows as well, in case you want to have this incorporated in your palette as well. And I did my eyebrows with this shade alone today, and I must admit it kind of works, it's very nice, but I used my brush sprayed with Fix Plus. I use it wet. It doesn't have to be Fix Plus, but it has to be wet if you want it to show a clear line, and then you can use it dry at the beginning of your brow. Now the downside of this palette is that these shades have a lot of fallout, and you are going to hit pan much quicker in this one compared to this one. I have done a video before in which I reviewed this palette and I talk about the formula, so if you're interested, definitely check this video out. So my final thoughts in terms of these two palettes are that if you are looking for a palette that is very pigmented, that is very smooth and soft and doesn't apply patchy, I definitely recommend the Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette. But if you find this one a bit too warm for you, this palette could be an alternative. I do recommend that you watch my video in which I talk about the formula of these shadows. But if you really like the colors in this palette, I think that you can make them work. Even though it has a lot of fallout, you can still make them work. You can use good brushes, and this will make a difference as well. For the shimmery shades, if you use Fix Plus, they will apply much better and with a more intense pigmentation as well. I recommend this palette for those people who already have palettes that have a lot of crease shades in them, that have a lot of neutral shades, because as I said, you only get one crease shade here, but other than that you get a very interesting spectrum of colors. Okay guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope that this was helpful. Let me know your thoughts down below. Let me know which palette are you considering buying, and if you have both of them, what you think about both of them. Please subscribe to my channel and I will see you guys soon. Bye!